Next, I'm going to go to this column here on your grid called Advantage Plans. Now, I've spent a good deal of time teaching you folks about original Medicare and the supplemental plans that people will buy to cover those gaps. So now we're going to talk about this new system that started in 2003 under the second George Bush administration. And what I want you to see from this is a different system. Okay, and I'm going to tell you some of the differences. Now, before I get into that, I'm going to tell you one thing that is identical, whether I go with a supplemental plan or I go with an Advantage plan. In fact, let's do it this way to keep it simple. Let's say I'm going to call this side of the room those who choose to go with original Medicare with a supplemental plan and those who choose to go with an Advantage plan. Regardless of the way I go, I have to be enrolled in Medicare A and B. What does A cost most people? 0. What does B cost most people this year? $144.60 on a monthly basis. So no matter what system I'm in, I've got to be enrolled in A and B, and I've got to pay my B premium. Okay, now let's talk about the differences. And the reason I'm teaching it to you this way is because when you go on Medicare, folks, that's what you're going to decide. Will it be this system or that system? Because you cannot have both. It's one or the other. So let's go through the differences. Number one, every Advantage plan today is going to have a network of doctors, hospitals, specialists, and those networks are called HMOs and PPOs. We describe the HMO box as smaller because there will be less choices on the HMO than the PPO. There's always less choices. You'll have less hospitals, less docs, everything than the PPO. Okay? Why is that? In this business as well as most businesses, all you have to do is follow the money. Okay? So when an insurance company goes to a provider, goes to a hospital or to a doctor, and they're on that HMO contract, they're saying, here's what we will pay you to see patients, inpatient or outpatient or whatever. Here's the fee that we'll pay you. Some doctors will look at the HMO contract and say, we're not going to see patients for that little money. In fact, I just wrote a guy the other day. He ran the largest skilled nursing facility in this whole area. And I wrote him a plan. And he said, Marvin, we dropped the HMO contract. It was costing us money to treat patients of theirs at those particular reimbursement rates. They dropped it totally. Okay? Now they still take the PPO. Why? Pays a little bit better. Okay, so just follow the money. That's why you have less choices. You have some doctors say, I can't see people that cheaply. I'm not going to do that. Now, you have other doctors say, hey, I'll do it. They're going to build their practice around that. Build a lot of volume. Okay, and they may do that. Now, there's some doctors that don't take either one of them. They don't have to. It's totally a voluntary agreement, right? But some take HMO, some take PPO, some take both, or one or the other. And so the whole point is this, you'll have a network of doctors. Now, if I stay in original Medicare, do I have a network of docs and hospitals? No, it's totally open access. You can go anywhere as long as they take Medicare. Over here, we got to find out, do they take the HMO or the PPO? So that's one difference. Another difference is, in this system here, on the HMOs, many of them require that you see your primary care doc before you can see a specialist. You have to have a referral. Now, I'll be honest with you, some people are never troubled by that. Others hate that rule, right? So if you hate that rule, you probably don't want an HMO because many times they require that. PPOs never do. There's no requirement at all for a referral. Go wherever you want to go. As long as that doctor's in network, go see him. Over here, do we have referrals? No. They take Medicare, go where you want to go. The difference is out-of-network benefit. If you're on an HMO, folks, you cannot, by choice, go out of network if you're on an HMO plan. So if you want to go to MD Anderson, say for cancer treatment, and you're on an HMO plan, I guarantee it's not in your network. And if you're on an HMO, if you go, you pay 100% the cost. PPOs, you can go out of the network. That's why we have this dashed box. You can go out, you can go, frankly, any Medicare provider that will take Medicare, you can go on the PPO. Now listen, when I go out of network, I'm going to spend a little bit more money. In network is typically around, maybe we'll call it $3,500 for today. If I go out of network, I go to MD Anderson, maybe cost me extra, maybe $1,500 or a couple $1,000. So I'll pay a little more to go out of network, but I have the privilege to do that on the PPO, all right? Over here, Medicare is my network. I don't worry about it at all. Okay, that's the difference. Now, another difference is this. Your Advantage plans are very low cost on a monthly basis to the insurance company. In other words, premiums. There's either low premiums or no premiums. Almost in every market across the country, we have several plans today that have zero premium to the insurance company for that particular plan. Well, why is that? Well, instead of paying a premium, what are we doing? We're going to pay copays for everything that we do other than preventive. So it's a copay type system. Over in this system with original Medicare, what did I do? I transferred the risk away to an insurance company. I paid them a premium. I don't have a lot of copays. In fact, if you do the G plan, what do you pay? The $198 and you're done, right? So you pretty much have eliminated almost all the risk, and you pay a premium for that. Over here, I'm saying, I don't want to pay any premium or very little, and I'll just take on a little bit more of that risk, and I will do so by paying copays. Now, those copays will come to a limit. Every plan's a little bit different. It varies from about $3,400 to $10,000, and this varies market to market, but this is a good general rule of thumb. $3,400 to $10,000 out of pocket. Now, occasionally, I've had this happen before. I had a lady get diagnosed with cancer towards the end of last year, sometime around like September, October. Her plan had a $6,700 max out of pocket. When you're on cancer and you're going to get treated, chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, you will max out and do so quickly. Everyone knows that, right? Okay, so she maxes out around September, October. We roll around January, and this max out of pocket resets, $6,700. Took her about 2 months. She maxed out again. So truly, within about a 5-6 month window, she has spent $13,400. That's kind of the worst case scenario when we talk about maxing out. Okay, that does happen. Okay, so again, it's a whole different system. Now, let's talk about your copays. We just want to give you a feel for these. So you'll see a doc visits 0 to 10, specialist 25 to 50, and we're just talking about every time you go see one of these docs. Preventive is 0. Medicare says this. Medicare says that if Medicare provides the preventive visit at no cost to you, then the Medicare Advantage plan matches that. Okay, they match the service for service. All right, so no difference there. And then we have urgent care ER. Now, this is the one place where you have no network. So watch this. If you go to an urgent care facility or emergency room anywhere in the world, all you do is pay your copay, anywhere. So they want you to go get your care. And this just makes logical sense. If you're having a heart attack, the last thing the Advantage company wants you to do is worry about, am I going somewhere it's in network? Don't worry about it. If it's urgent care, emergency room, go anywhere you want in the world, and you're treated as though you're right at home as far as the cost of that coverage. Everybody clear? So no networks here. Urgent care and ER. Everything else, we have networks, HMOs, PPOs, but not urgent care or emergency room. Okay, test labs, x-rays, depending upon where you have the test and what kind it is, 0 to 50 MRIs, CAT scans, PET scans, 200 to 400 per test. Outpatient surgery, so this is someone goes in for cataract surgery or maybe a scheduled hernia operation, gallbladder removal, something like that. You just pay a flat copay and it covers everything else. Anesthesiologist, nursing services, the surgeon, facility fees, everything covered by your flat copay. Hospital. Now remember in original Medicare, we had a deductible, didn't we? $1,408. We have no deductibles on Advantage plans usually, so they charge you a daily copay. So if I go to the hospital, I'm on a $300 a day copay. If I'm in for 5 days, it costs me what? $1,500. Now watch this. How about if I'm in for 6 days? What's it cost me? $1,500, right? I just pay 5. After that, it's free. Now, every hospitalization, I'm responsible for my daily copay. But for that one hospitalization, it's going to stop. Some stop at 6. One local market stops at 9. So each of them vary, but you just pay a daily copay. Everybody clear? So what is this system? Pay as we go. We pay a very low premium or nothing, and we pay as we go. Over here, we pay a premium, and we're pretty well done. Okay, so let's walk through a quick example. Let's say I'm on an Advantage plan, and I go to the hospital for 3 days, and my daily copay is $300. What's it cost me for that hospitalization? $900. And let's say 2 months later, I'm having some abdominal pain. I go in, and doc says, not sure what's going on, let's do an MRI. And that MRI costs me $250. I pay my copay $250, and the plan pays the rest. And let's say, 3 months later, I go in and I have to have cataract surgery, outpatient facility, and I have one eye operated on, then I go back in a few weeks later to get the other one operated on. And so I have 2 copays at $275. That cost me what? $550. Everyone clear? So 3-day hospital stay cost me $900. My MRI cost me $250, and my surgery for both cataract eyes $550. Okay? So I pay as I go. So that's the Advantage system. Pay as you go till you hit your max out of pocket. Now, let's talk about this system. If I am on an original Medicare with the supplemental plan G and I go to the hospital for 3 days, what's it cost me? Come on, what's it cost you? $198. I'm on a G plan, right? Everything on the A is covered, but the B side is the doc side. I'm going to have a few docs come and see me in the hospital, so it's going to cost me $198 for that hospitalization. And then I go to have an MRI in a couple months because of abdominal pain. What's it cost me on my G plan? Nothing. I've already met my deductible over here, so I'm done. And then I have to have cataract surgery later in the year, both eyes. What's it cost me? Nothing, zero. I've met my B deductible. So what's happened? Because I paid a premium, I transfer the risk of all my health care costs away from me, and that supplemental company has to pay that after Medicare pays. Here, I just took on the risk until I hit my max out of pocket. That's the difference. So they're just structured differently financially. Now here's some other differences. I look forward to having you join me in the next video so that you can continue learning the ins and outs of Medicare. When you're ready for personalized advice for your situation, all you have to do is go to MedicareSchool.com in order to get in touch with us. When you get there, you'll be given the opportunity to schedule a time to talk with an Enlighten You Medicare consultant. This is a completely free service for you, and there's no strings attached. We'd love to answer your questions, and if it makes sense, help you choose and get enrolled in the best plans for your needs.